Thank you, guys.
Thank you for coming out. We're going to first start off with the pledge. If everybody can stand up to their feet.
Can we do the prayer?
Our flag is up here on the stage to my left. Attention, salute, pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we will have a word of prayer by Ms. Morrow.
Good evening. Let's bow our heads for a moment of prayer. Father God in heaven, we thank you for this day, dear God. We thank you for everything that has happened so far this day, dear God. We ask that you remove any type of distractions, any worry, and anxiety right now, dear God, so this meeting can be productive, dear God. We ask that you open all hearts and minds to receive all ideas and everything to help us support this band at this school and the middle school. We ask all these blessings in your son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Next, we'll have Ms. LaToya Jenkins to come forward for the reading of the minutes. Following Ms. Jenkins, I think we will have Mr. Calvin.
Good afternoon, everybody. So these are the minutes from July 11th. We opened at 6:35 p.m. by Mr. Alex Wills. Prayer was offered by Ms. Kim Morrow. Pledge was by Alex Wills. And this was a recap of the last meeting. The trip bowl has been submitted to the peach bowl, I'm sorry. The trip has been submitted. We have not gotten back about the Hawaii trip because we had not had enough volunteers and participation yet. Another recap was they wanted to know, everybody wanted to let everybody know that if you participate and you pay your booster fee, you are a band booster. It's not just the officers. If you pay your $50 band booster fee, you are a band booster. Active band booster, you're able to vote. That includes aunt, uncle, best friend, grandparents, etc. So we were also talking about the fee for your assessment fee in the band. It's $400 if you own your own instrument. It's $500 if you borrow from the school. High school, I apologize, this is for high school assessment fees. Thank you. The upcoming fundraisers are car wash. We have one on Saturday. It's going to be at O'Reilly's right here from 9 to 3. Make sure you come out and show your support. Come out, bring all your family member cars, four-wheelers, and everything else. Some of the fundraisers we have, we just concluded the actual sponsorship fundraiser. We're going to have the fundraiser coordinator talk about that. We also have the Double Good popcorn, Priester pecan, pancake breakfast. We have QR codes for the concession stand volunteers and the chaperones. They are needed, so go ahead and sign up. The QR codes are out there on the table. The remind code for freshmen is at COOF 2027. And your code is 81010. Again, that's COOF 2027. That's 81010. That's your code. That's for all freshmen. The booster remind is at AGFD92. And your text code is 81010. Again, if you're not getting any reminds, this is the remind code that you need to make sure you put in. It is A as in apple, G as in godfather, F as in feather, D as in dog, 92. And your text code is 81010. They're going to have the senior pictures on Wednesday 4 o'clock. You have to be ready to go. Send your pictures. 4 o'clock. Tomorrow. You need to be here dressed and everything at 4 o'clock, not coming getting dressed. I have to tell y'all that part. They're going to get me. So, all of our meetings are video, and you can actually find them on YouTube under the Clay-Chalkville High School Band. We closed out in prayer on July 11th by Miss Lucretia Burks, and we closed out at 7:43. And that concludes your minutes from July 11th. Now, we're going to turn over to Miss... Don't nobody want the mic. Okay, by Miss Lucretia Burks. Let's give her applause, y'all.
Hello, Cougar family! What day of the week is it? It's Tuesday, it's the beginning of the week. Well, welcome to our mighty Midlers. I believe we have some Midlers in the house with us. Raise your hand, Midlers!
They trying to see what that is.
Middle schoolers. I'm sorry, look. I'm sorry. That's what we say in church for BBS, if you're a Midler, if you're a middle school. Okay, so once again, our mighty middle schoolers. Raise your hand. Awesome, Cougar family. Go Cougars.
Go Cougars!
All right, my name is Lucretia Burke, and I am your fundraising servant. I'm here to work for you. They say coordinator, chairperson, whatever. But VP, but what it means is work. Now, each of you are my assistants. If you didn't know that, you know it now. We have had already one fundraiser, and it was the sponsorship fundraiser. I was just given this final number of $6,720. Can you clap it up for that? But take a pause now. While we were excited for the $6,700, our goal was how much? Does anybody remember what our goal was? 20,000. What's the math on that? How short were we?
A lot.
How short are we? The math wasn't mathing. So, what does that mean? Our next couple of fundraisers, we have got to work hard. The next fundraiser will be the Double Good Popcorn. It's going to come to you at the beginning of September. We need everyone to sell to 20 people or more. Raise your hand if you're already familiar with Double Good. You're not? Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about it. It is effortless. You don't have to go door to door. There is no sign-up sheet for you to pass out and somebody writes their name down. And you don't have to collect money. It is all electronic. When we send it to you, you send it to everybody on your social media. And in your Facebook, your TikTok, your, Instagram, send it to your family. Anybody that has a smartphone, send it to them. Now, if you know somebody that still has a flip phone, you call them and get their payment for at least 4 bags of Double Good popcorn. That's the next fundraiser. It's September. Now, after that, we will then have our Priester's Pecan. Raise your hand if you're familiar with Priester's Pecan. That'll come to you in October. So we have some time, and you'll hear more from us regarding Priester's Pecan. But just know it's coming. That also is effortless. A little bit of labor. We're not asking you to do too much now. Just at least send it to everybody in your contact list on your social media. Post it. People love Double Good Popcorn, and they will support your efforts. They'll support your baby. They'll support the band if they are former band students themselves. They'll support this school if they are an alumni of Cougar Nation. If they love Mr. Calvert, if they love Mr. Binion, hey, name drop, we don't care if this sales. We need your support because these monies can help offset, potentially, some of the fees. But they go to support the overall function of this organization. So, sponsorship, we've already had that. I just shared with you that we didn't make our goal. Double Good is coming to you in September, and Priesters is coming to you in October. We have more planned for the calendar, but I just want to put those three out there to you. I do want to ask, though, this is question and answer, just a few questions. I need you to just yell it out to me. What are some of the barriers to fundraising for you?
Communication.
Say it loud.
They said
Somebody
money.
else. I couldn't hear. I heard
She said money.
money. Okay, so money is a barrier to you fundraising, participating in fundraising. What are some of the barriers for you? Time. Okay, so Double Good answers that because all you're doing is sending it out. How many times a day you post pictures of your baby, of your work, of your outfit, of your nails, of your hair?
Your food.
So somebody said time. So I can explain away time. It takes nothing for you to load, to send it to somebody in your country. At least 10 people, 20 people. We do group texts all the time. What else? What's a barrier to you participating in the fundraiser or to you participating in these fundraisers? What's a barrier? Come on. Not that you're confessing yourself, but maybe you've heard somebody else say, you hate begging.
Somebody with the same fundraiser at the same time.
Okay, multiple fundraisers going on at the same time. You're right. You are absolutely right. But you don't know if they'll participate in yours unless you ask.
That's right.
I have bought multiple bags of Double Good and I eat it all from different organizations. And you better believe I'm gonna buy some this time. Well, if you don't want to ask anybody else, maybe you can just do it yourself. Buy all 20 bags yourself. You don't want to ask anybody else? Come on, I hear from this side. What's over here? What are your barriers to fundraising? Your circle? Oh, okay, so they've been fundraised to death. Okay, fundraising fatigue is what they call it. But we get tired of a lot of things, so we still go back to it. But again, you're not going to know unless you ask. But I understand these are all legitimate reasons. What I want you to think about is your child is participating in this organization. They need all the help that you can give them as their parent. And this is one of the many ways that you can help them. Do you believe in your child? Do you believe in this organization? Do you believe, are you familiar with how many children have been blessed that participated in this organization under the leadership and guidance of Mr. Calvert and Mr. Binion? Have you witnessed what they do? Yes, no?
Yes.
Is it worth it to sell 20 bags of Double Good popcorn?
Yes.
Buy it yourself or ask somebody else to sell. But look, if you put it out there and they don't purchase, it's not hurting nobody. They can ignore it just like they ignore some of y'all's posts on Facebook. But you would have at least put it out there. All those likes that you get, do they like your stuff on TikTok? I don't know, because I don't have it. On Instagram? Get some of those people to buy some Double Good popcorn. And some Priesters pecans in October. I just wanted to overemphasize that fundraising is for a purpose. We're not just asking for your money just to ask for it. If anybody needs to see records, the records are kept and available for you to see where the money goes. I just want to put that out there also. But listen, if you are a part of this organization, it needs your support. Does anyone have any questions for me before I sit down? Let me check one last thing before I sit down. Any questions for me? My number is just about on every remind. It'll be on the flyer, so if you have any questions or comments, you're certainly welcome to text me or call. I prefer text or call. My email address may be on that also. It may be given out to you before tonight, but you're certainly welcome to ask any questions, make any comments. And if you have some ideas for fundraisers that you think would benefit this organization, you are welcome to suggest those as well. Thank you for your time.
Hello, Cougar family. It's your girl, Erica. I first off want to say welcome middle school parents. It's good to see your faces today. I remember a lot of you from the Disney trip from last year. And I have a few things that I want to go over today. First, I want to go ahead and get the middle school parents out the way first. We are selling Battle of the Band tickets right now. They are 2 for $20. The price will go up the closer we get to September 24th. So I encourage you to buy as many tickets as you want to see and come and support the high school band. They will be performing along with Miles College, Alabama State, Nona. What's the other? It don't matter. Yeah. But those tickets are 2 for $20 right now, and Victoria, Latoya, we all have tickets, so if you want to purchase them, I do, like I said, encourage you to go ahead and buy them before we either run out or the ticket prices go up. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to call, text, email. I know a lot of parents can vouch that as soon as you send me something, I will respond immediately. Like, answer it no matter what. Okay, done with that. Okay, for the financial report of the month of July, the beginning balance was $5,674.90. The ending? Right here, okay. The ending balance was $15,625.35. Today, we've taken in so many deposits since July, and our actual the balance today is actually $17,000. $17,757.42. Today is the second installment of the $150 that is due today. I asked everyone who has not made any payments to at least make a minimum of $50 so that your child can at least get their spirit packs, because if they don't have their spirit packs, Mr. Binion said himself he will send them home next Friday. They will not play at all because you can't play if you don't have your uniform, and if you haven't paid for your shoes, you can't march without those shoes. So those are the only stipulations. At least a minimum of $50 needed to be paid at least by today, or if you've already contacted me and made a payment arrangement. And like I said, your payment arrangement stays between me and you. Nobody knows. Mr. Bean doesn't know. Mr. Wills doesn't know, and not even Mr. Coward. Nobody knows your situation but me. And I keep it to myself. I don't share it with nobody else. I just mark it down and put it on there the date that you give me, and we go from there. And it actually protects your child, because we understand that everybody has different paydays. We understand bills. We understand power bill, water bill, gas bill, bill, grocery bill. We understand it. So if you just contact me and let me know. Check, 1, check, 2. No, that worked. Okay. But like I was saying, if you just contact me and let me know, we can work out something. And like I said, it saves your child from getting like, why you haven't made a payment yet, or anything of that nature. And it helps the program run smooth, because we cannot run the program without any bills paid, pretty much. If no money comes in, it's hard to send out for spats, just like we just paid for spats. Your child will be getting spats by the end of this week to go over their shoes. And just to let y'all know exactly what we go through, that costs $436 for spats. So we have to make sure we at least have minimum balances, at least, or something worked out, so that we can at least pay some of these things for your children. All right, skip that. I also want to thank everybody who participated in the sponsorship fundraiser. I really do appreciate all your effort and your support on the next fundraiser, which is actually right now. The Battle of the Bands is an actual fundraiser. We do get money off of each ticket sale. So the more we sell, the more money we get. So of course, if you can just, Battle of the Bands, everybody usually wants to go to. That's an easy seller. So all you gotta ask somebody, hey, you wanna go to the Battle of the Bands? It's a buy one, get one, especially if you're just buying one, you can bring one with you. So that's our current one we have right now, right? Okay. Senior parents. I understand from personal experience, like I said, I just had one graduate from here. You're hit with so many fees at front. They want every fee they can think of. They want your blood, sweat, tears, and money. Thank you. So much better. And so I understand that you have to have those fees, but just remember that $50 fee, that band fee for senior parents must be paid. They will hold your child's diploma. They will not let your child walk if you don't pay that $50 band fee at the front office. So I just wanted to let y'all know so you're not hit at the last minute of, why my child can't walk or anything of that nature. Please at least make sure you go pay that $50, okay? Because I've seen it happen where they're thinking your graduation is coming up and then they get that yellow slip that says you cannot march because you owe all these band fees. So I just wanted to let y'all know. Try to make something work. You can even call her name is Miss Douglas at the front office. She makes payment arrangements as well. I know that because I've had to make payment arrangements myself. So if you just shoot her an email, she will respond back and she will ask you the same thing. We're very lenient as far as payment arrangements. We're very understanding. We're all one big family. All you gotta do is just say, hey, help, and we will help you out. We have one more payment due. The installment is September 12th. It's whatever your remaining balance. Everybody has a different balance. If you don't know how much more you owe, you can shoot me a text, email, call me, and I will let you know what your balance is. If you also just want a list of all your receipts, I have a book for any time any money has came and hit the books or my hands or anybody's hands, there's a receipt for it. So if you want receipts, I have them for you. I keep them and I'm going to keep them forever. And just let me know and I will give you all your receipts. I think that's it. And I just, freshman parents, don't forget the $40 for their shoes must be due ASAP. Shoes are here. So we just have just a few. Just please make sure that you make that $40 payment so that they can get their shoes. I think that's about all I have. I only have one more thing to say. As far as we're still going to be accepting sponsorship money. So I know a lot of y'all were saying fatigue or whatever. You could do something similar to what I did. I know a lot of y'all are probably in Where They At though on Facebook. Ask Jonathan Crump if you can post any of our information. He will say yes. Because that is all of Birmingham right there. I posted in what's happening in Centerpoint, what's happening in Pinson, what's happening in Clay, what's happening in Centerpoint. I think I said that already. And I ended up getting 2 people that I don't even know of that just decided to donate some money. So you just never know who may have it or who's looking for it that can donate it. So when she say go social media, just don't be afraid to just shoot it in those groups or whatever, because those are the groups that like to help, especially some businesses who are looking for write-offs. And they will get receipts. You also fraternity, churches, if you just don't, if your circle's too small, you said your circle's small, maybe try to reach out to your church or at your job or ask anybody that we can help. And I'm going to open it. Does anybody have any questions for me? Lucretia said if you don't want to sell anything at all, she said that you could do what we call a fair share. How much is it? And it's $500 that you pay per child. And once you pay that, you're not asked to do anything other than just pay your band fees. But you also have that option if you don't want to participate in any fundraisers, you can opt in on the fair share. And I do have some that opt in, and we've already gotten that taken care of. So it is possible. And those of you who have already made all your fees and made zero balance, if you want to donate some money to help out another child, you're more than welcome. And also, I found out that the sponsors that you're going around and asking for, you can ask that sponsor, can you sponsor my child and help pay for their fees? They will also do that as well. And that'll also alleviate some help on your end. All right, no questions? All right. Thank you much.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Davine Smiley, your concession stand VP coordinator. I don't know, they just do whatever they tell me to do. So, as you came in, hopefully you all signed up. You scanned the QR code to sign up to work the concession stand. Every family is strongly encouraged to work 2 games. It could be middle school, high school, JV. JV is on Monday, middle school is on Thursday, varsity is on Friday. We only have 2, count them, 2 varsity games, 2 home varsity games, and that's against who? Pinson Valley, which is going to be a big one, and the other one is Shades Valley. Yeah, Shades Valley. Those are our only 2 games. And those 2 games are big games. They're going to be big money makers. It's going to be all hands on deck. We need middle school, high school, elementary school, everybody to be there, elementary. So if you have not signed up, and Mr. Calvert, he will get into this later, I guess, with you guys for middle school, y'all have a sweet incentive to sign up. So I remember being in middle school, and I was like, let me sign up for everything. And our spring trip got canceled, so I didn't get to reap the benefits because of COVID, but whatever. After you talk to him, I'm sure there will be a beeline to sign up, okay? And I do provide him with a report after every game when people work, so you don't have to worry about, oh, how's he gonna know? I will give him a report after every game of whatever he wants. He wants a report for tonight, he'll have that in the morning. All right, so I say all that because what we're going to do something different. How many repeat concession stand workers do I have that have done the concession stand? I have my faithful few. All right, so you know how last year and the year before and forever ago, excuse me, you had to go online, sign in, do the 15-minute course, blah, blah, blah. Okay, talked to the lady at the health department. She was like, you don't have to do all that. You can train everybody at once. This will literally take 8 to 10 minutes. We're going to do concession stand food handlers training right now. So guess what? All of y'all will be not certified, but all of you will have completed your Jefferson County Public Health Food Handlers course. And then you'll be ready to work the concession stand. Now don't fear, when you come to the concession stand the first time, we will walk you through everything. This is just what we got to do. We're going to fly through these slides, and at the end, you're going to scan the QR code. So send your child up if you can't figure it out. Get your phone ready. You're going to scan the QR code. You're going to put in the information, and you are going to be good to go. You don't have to do anything else. Easy enough? Okay, give me 10 minutes. All right, keep calm. Wash your hands. I'm supposed to show y'all this video because you're supposed to wash your hands. Everybody good? Oh, and this thing is really common sense. Okay? All right. We got to have safe food practices. So if you're safe, you're going to keep everybody else safe. I'll read this to y'all. You make the difference between food that is safe and food that can make the customers very sick or even die. Keep going to learn how to handle food safely. 1 in every 6 Americans gets sick from food every year. What can make food unsafe? Germs. Virus. I gotta tell them a little something. Viruses and bacteria can make people very sick, and you get all that. Then infected food workers cause the most outbreaks of norovirus. Who knows what norovirus is? If you have kids, you know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, she said the whole house had it. It's the poops and the throw-ups, okay? The bubble guts. What can also make food unsafe? Foreign objects, loose, cracked or broken utensils and equipment. All right, so you had a person in Utah, yes, a woman almost died because the chemicals were not labeled. Somebody thought it was sugar. Me personally, I think somebody didn't like that lady because she got smart with them at the counter. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna make your sweet tea sweet. And they put, what was it, cyanide? They put a poisonous powder in her tea. And she almost died. She didn't die, thank the Lord. But that's why we keep chemicals separate from food. Oh, somebody called me. These folks know where I am. Okay, food allergies. Thank you, Mr. Wills. Food allergies. How many have people in their family with food allergies? Okay, so you know that's important that we pay attention to food allergies. Okay. Symptoms of allergic reaction: nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, wheezing, shortness of breath, hives, itchy rash, swelling of the body, including eyes, face, hands, or feet. As you know, symptoms can be serious. You gotta call 911 if somebody's having a serious allergic reaction. Store all cleaners safely. I don't know why this wasn't with this previous slide, but we'll do that. Only keep what we need, we do that. We label them and store them away from food, we do that. We use cleaners according to label directions. So in other words, we don't mix bleach and ammonia. We don't do that. And we keep the chemicals away from the kids, which is not hard because you gotta be 16 to be in the concession stand, so. Oh, hold on, real quick. If your child is here and they are 16 or older, or will be 16 or older by the time they wanna work the concession stand, they can also work the concession stand and they will get community service points. So if they're in Key Club, National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, anything that they need community service points, we will give community service points. But they are gonna have to fill out the form as well, okay? So, just wanted to make sure y'all knew that. Okay, we're gonna use the equipment safely. We're not gonna take knives and throw them at the wall, stuff like that. We're gonna keep the pest out as best we can. Now let me tell y'all who have never worked the concession stand. That concession stand is older than school, it's 1995, whatever. Every now and then we have a little water bug from outside. Every now and then you have a little rat scurrying across. We're doing a whole lot better now because we have, our pest control comes every month now. But you're gonna see a spider every now and then. The kids leave the door open, so a water bug comes in from outside every now and then. But rest assured that we do a really good job of keeping our concession stand sprayed with pests and whatnot, okay? Okay. This slide just makes me laugh. Protect people and stay at home when you're sick. Listen, as much as I love for our volunteers to be there, and I love when people could keep their commitment, if you are sick, please stay at home, because not only are you going to affect the customers, now I got a whole concession stand of sick people. And I have some people like Miss Martisa back there somewhere. Where's Miss Martisa? Oh, right there. Miss Martisa is in the concession stand every week. I need my Miss Martisa, okay? So I don't need her to be sick because you came because you had the boo-boos or you didn't feel good, okay? Oh, wait, go back. So, I don't know why you would be there if you're jaundiced, because if you're jaundiced, that's not good. You probably feel like really bad anyway. If you have diarrhea, sore throat, with or without a fever, I don't care if you got a sore throat, unless it's allergies, stay at home. And vomiting. Yeah, or a cough. If you have a cough that's like, you know, bad, you stay at home too because it could be an RSV. All right, when you're getting ready to come to the concession stand, wear clean clothes, have a hair restraint. Jefferson County requires us to have a hair restraint. A hat is fine. If you don't have a hat, we will bless you with a handy dandy beautiful hairnet. Guys, if you have hair on your head, or if you're bald, you still have to wear a hat, okay? You don't have to have a beard guard. I don't know why, but they don't make us have beard guards. We're not going to ask any questions. But you have to have everybody in the concession stand has to have a hat or a visor. If you have braids, that's fine. You still need to wear a visor. You can wear a skull cap, a beanie, whatever, but something needs to cover your head, okay? Keep your nails trimmed, cut Cover cuts with Band-Aids or bandage or gloves. Don't play with pets before you go to work. Okay. If you're taking care of a child, okay, if your child is sick and they have a fever, they're probably contagious and you are too, so stay at home. We have all this in the concession stand. Do what the 2 slides ago said. Read this and, okay, listen. Wash your hands. Just wash your hands. When you come into the concession stand, the first thing we're going to do is say, pull out your phone and sign in. And then we're going to say, put your phone up, go wash your hands. And then we're going to say, okay, now that you've washed your hands, put your gloves on. Just wash your hands. If you go to the bathroom, wash your hands. If you wipe your nose, go wash your hands. But you're going to have gloves on, but we ask you that you wash your hands, okay? All right. Wash your hands. Wash your hands some more. This is just saying wash your hand after touching raw meat. You don't cross-contaminate and all that good stuff. Okay, now, using the meat thermometer, most of you will not be cooking. You'll either be serving and sailing at the window or whatnot. We have people who prep. Our assistant VP of concessions had to leave. She had another meeting to be at. She's one of our preppers. We have regular preppers. Not saying that you can't, but we do have regular preppers, but I do have to tell you this, use a meat thermometer. And at every station, for those of you who have not worked with concession stand, when you come in, there is never a question of what you need to do, because at every station is a sign of, like at the popcorn machine, that tells you how to make popcorn. It's really easy. But Miss Simile, where are you, Miss Renee? I thought I saw you. Miss Renee, she's not gonna let you make popcorn, because she is our popcorn maker. She ain't gonna let you make popcorn. But at the hot dog station, it tells you how to turn the hot dog machine on, and then it tells you what temperature the hot dogs need to be at. At the fry station, same thing on the grill. So there's never a question in our concession stand what temperature everything should be at. If the food is ready, you shouldn't be touching it with your hands. If the food's not ready, you shouldn't be touching it with your bare hands. We are a glove-up concession stand. From the time you walk in to the time you leave. If you're at the window serving food, you're never touching food anyway, as far as, direct contact. So you don't have to worry about that. But you're gloved up if you're in the prep area or helping assemble food like the hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff like that. Same thing. We don't have an ice machine, but because it's in the presentation, I gotta tell you. Yeah. Cross-contamination. We don't want to have cross-contamination, so if you're dealing with the hot dogs, wash your hands, change your gloves before you go deal with the hamburgers. Wash your hands, change your gloves before you go deal with the candy or the popcorn or whatever. Wash your hands. Y'all, we go through gloves like crazy. That's like a subscription to gloves. We don't care. We want to keep our public safe. Okay, for those of you who are going to be dishwashers, we usually do this. Again, we have signs up so you can't do it wrong. We have a 3-sink wash system. The first sink, you have your hot soapy water. Your second sink we have is the rinsing sink. And the third sink is our sanitizing sink. That's the one we have to measure the parts per million of bleach in water. It's real easy. We have test strips, all that good stuff. You don't have to calculate anything like that. But we'll show you how to do all that, and the signs are up there. We don't have to worry about this because we use disinfectant wipes. So we don't make up a solution to wipe down the counters. Danger zone, raw meat, all that good stuff. We have thermometers in all of the coolers and all of the freezers, and then again we have multiple meat thermometers to check meat. Food temperatures, that's listed. We don't keep leftovers. Okay, yeah, we do. We keep leftover candy. I mean, it's closed up, but yeah, we don't keep open leftovers. And condiments, yeah, but they're in packets. We have our food permit up. This is I need everybody to lay eyes on this because when you fill out the form, it's going to ask you, did you see this? These are your takeaways. Stay home if you're sick. Wash your hands. Don't touch stuff with your bare hands. Allergies. rinse, wash, sanitize, danger for food zones, and no cooking is allowed outside without permission. So don't suggest that we do a grill out at one of the games. We can't, per Jefferson County. Our concession stand guidelines our credentials don't allow for it. Okay, so congratulations, you are all now, you completed your Jefferson County Food Handlers volunteer course. You are now eligible to work concession stands. So what I need you to do is scan this QR code, and y'all give it up for my assistant VP, Ms. Kimberly Morrow. So scan this, and I'm gonna give you, just, once you pull it up, hold on, we'll go to the next slide. Now, if you did the food handlers course last year, your card is good for 2 years, but just go ahead and do it. You're here now, go ahead and do it, so then it's another 2 years. So you won't have to do it until 23, you won't have to do it till 25, okay? So even if you did it last year, it's not expired, but go ahead and do it because you're here now. And that way it won't expire in 24, it'll expire in 25. So everybody do this. If you are a student and you think you may work a middle or a JV game, go ahead and scan it. Like my daughter's not 16 yet, but she will be in 2 weeks, so she can work the concession stand then. Go ahead and do it if your child is gonna turn 16 in September. Go ahead and do it. Anybody still need to scan? Just raise your hand before we go to the next, okay. Don't do anything yet. While everybody's scanning, any questions? Are you serious? Oh, she said okay, because everybody's trying to do it at the same time. Give it a few minutes. And if it doesn't, I am going to send these out, I'll send the link out this evening.
Davine.
Yes.
It's also going to be on YouTube. It's also going to be on YouTube.
And it will also be on YouTube. Yeah. It may be the service in here. I'm getting ready to do all that. Okay, anybody else still need to scan? Can we go to the next slide so y'all can get the next bit of information? Yes, just stop right there. Oh. Okay, so this should be the screen you're on. And here's the information you need to put in. Session ID 9475 and this long password. Okay, I'll say it for you so you don't have to keep looking up. F as in Fox, A as in Alpha, 4, 8, A as in Alpha, 0, 9, E as in Echo, dash, B as in Bravo, 4, A as in Alpha, 7, dash, 4. That is the password. The session ID is 9475. And again, if you can't get your phone to work, I will send this out probably tomorrow. If you don't have Remind, you're going to miss it. Okay? Okay. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Put the dash in, I think. I think you put the dash in. Okay. They said yes, put the dash in. Okay, for those of you who forgot your reading glasses, session ID is 9475. The password is F as in Foxtrot, A as in Alpha, 4, 8, A as in Alpha, 0, 9, E as in Echo, dash, or hyphen, B as in Bravo, 4, A as in Alpha, 7, dash, or hyphen, 4. Okay, are we ready to go to the next screen? Anybody not ready? Okay. So go back a second. Once you click group registration login, you should see this screen. Volunteer Food Handlers Card registration. For the group registration, in that this field right here, you're gonna put your first name and your last name, and then put volunteer. Now, if you have more than one person, you'll hit plus volunteer, and then you'll put the next person. And so, like, let's say, what's your name? Anthony. Anthony's gonna put his name in. Then he's gonna hit add volunteer. Then he wants to put his friend's name in, Alex. So then he's gonna put in Alex's first and last name, and then hit add volunteer. If he's done, he's gonna hit continue. If he's not done, and he needs to put in Sammy's name, he's gonna put in Sammy's first and last name and add volunteer. And however many in your household you need to, that are 16 and older, that are present and taking this course, that's who you can add.
You have to hit the 3 dots on the right.
Okay, listen to him.
When you're putting in someone else's name beside your own, once you hit plus volunteer, hit the 3 little dots and then click the people's names that you need to add on to the registration.
Is that iPhone? Okay. Okay. He has an iPhone. I haven't had that with an Android, so adjust accordingly. Yes, I have an Android, Mr. Wills. Okay, anybody have any questions? Are we good? In a minute. Hit continue. And then this page should pull up. It's saying yes, now we didn't watch the video because I could not get the video to play sound. I took the slides from each frame of the video. That's what you just saw. Y'all saw the video. You just saw it in still. It wasn't in motion. It was still instead of animated. The view poster number 1, that was the keep calm and wash hands. Wash hands. I said wash like my mom does. And wash hands. And poster 2 was the takeaway one that had all the summary of everything on it. So all you need to do is click the checkbox and hit print volunteer cards. It's not going to print. I'm going to print those. But that's telling this to give me permission to print. Okay? Yes. So it will actually print cards for each one of you for me. If y'all need them, just give me a call or whatever and I'll print you a card. But yeah, it's just for that. This is not a Safe Serve certification. This is not a food handler certification. This is a volunteer food handler card, and it's saying that you completed training. If you go to Jack's to work and they say, are you Safe Serve certified? No, you're not. But you can tell them I do have my Jefferson County's food handler's card, and you may not have to take the course. This is a free course. If you have anybody else who needs to take the course to work our concession stand, I will put all that information out on Remind. It is only good until next week. They only have the window open for for 10 days total, and they opened it up for me on Friday, so I could go ahead and get this all printed up for y'all. Okay? Okay, so it's time to volunteer. So, if you didn't sign up when you walked in the door, you can sign up for our varsity concession stand because now you have your food handler's card. Varsity, again, only 2 games, and they're not until September and October. JV, they play on Monday nights. Our games, JV, y'all help me. They start at 5? 5:30? Okay, we'll tell you a time. We'll give you a time. But it's only 1 game and you're out of here in like an hour, hour and a half, so it's an easy game to work. We have 6 games this year. Last year we had like 1 or 2. Middle school is the fun one. Middle school, we start at 5 and then you have a game at 6:45. I don't know why, but the 8th grade game gets crunked. You're like, where all these people come from? You're slow and easy. It kind of introduces you to working the concession stand, the 7th grade game. Then the 8th grade game, it's like all systems go. But it's fun. We have a good time in the concession stand. We appreciate everybody. As a thank you for working the concession stand, we give you a free meal. We give you a break. We give you a free drink. and our love and our appreciation. And your baby gets participation points, and Mr. Calvert will get into that in a minute. Somebody needed the session ID and the password one more time. Their phone was probably going a little slow. We'll keep that up for a couple more seconds. Yeah. And again, I will send this link and all this information along with the food, because if like my husband isn't here tonight, so I will have him click on it, do the course, play the video, watch the video, look at the poster, and it literally takes 15 minutes to do this if you watch everything, every second of the thing. Okay, can you go back to the QR? And right there. Oh, excuse me. No, I'm about to see. We good? Anybody have any questions about food handlers? I appreciate y'all. Thank you for giving me that 15 minutes of time. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Go back to the QR code one more time. One more again. This one? Okay.
Thank you so much. So I want to talk to middle school parents specifically for just a few moments. Thank you guys so much for coming out to open house last night. If you were able to do that, thank you so much for coming out tonight. We just needed a little more time than our 7 minutes that we had per class last night to talk to you guys about what we're doing. I'll give a quick review of what we talked about last night. For all 6th graders or any student in beginning band, we're working really hard to get everybody assigned to instruments. We sent out an email last Friday with a Google form for all of the beginning band students to fill out that form, tell us a little bit about themselves, give us their shirt size, and tell us which 3 instruments they were interested in playing. We've been teaching them about the instruments all since school started. We sent a video in that email to you guys, parents, that you can watch some demonstrations of the instruments with your students. They fill out that form, and then we go through and work with them to see which instrument they physically can play. All the different instruments are different shapes and sizes with the mouthpieces. Some are big, some are little, some go in your mouth, some go right on the outside of your mouth. It's all different. So some kids cannot physically play certain instruments. Other ones, they're physically great. They're a great match for those. So we're trying to find out which instrument is a match for your student. We started trying them out. Anybody who had completed the form, we started trying them out on different instruments today. We're going to continue that tomorrow. By Friday, you should get your student's instrument assignment in your email. And let me talk about emails for a second. When we send out emails to you guys, we go into our class and we click on a button that says email. And it emails everybody in the class. But only if you entered the correct email when you registered your student for school. If you did not enter the correct email when you registered your student for school, you won't get it. Every teacher in the school uses that system. That's the system the county's provided for us. So you did not enter your email correctly when you registered your student for school, please call the school office tomorrow and get that updated. I personally have already sent out 3 mass emails to 6th graders, 2 mass emails to everyone else. I sent out the instrument selection form on Friday. I sent out the notice about open house and this band booster meeting on Friday. And I sent out our band handbooks yesterday. So everybody should have gotten those emails. If it didn't, that means either you entered and I'll tell you, every time I send it out, I get a few 4 or 5 return emails that says This email is undeliverable, and I look at the email address and it says gmail.con instead of .com. So somebody has put in the wrong letter, and so they're not getting the emails. So if you're not getting emails and your students enrolled in our class, you need to make sure you double check those information with the school office, because again, that's every teacher. So any teacher that's sending out a mass email, if your email address, you didn't enter it correctly at registration, you're not getting those emails. So please make sure you get that taken care of. We will email by the end of the week, though, for beginning band parents, that instrument assignment. And when you get that email, click on the attachment. It'll tell you what instrument they're playing, what brands of instruments are the best ones to get for your student, and it'll have links to the music store where you can get them. Please try your best to follow the brands of instruments that we recommend. There are a lot of off-brand instruments that you can buy. I've already had a parent send me a link for a trumpet from Walmart. It's not going to last. It's not going to work. It's not going to do right for your child. Your child is going to be sitting in class trying their best to make it work, and they're going to think they just can't do it, when in reality, they're doing everything right. It's the off-brand instrument that's not working for them. So when we do that, we recommend that you rent to own an instrument if you're playing an instrument that has to be purchased from a music store. When you rent to own it, that gives you flexibility. They call it a rental purchase plan. If something happens and you need to switch it out, you have the flexibility to do that. If you go down the street and buy an instrument, it's yours. You don't have the flexibility to switch it out. In beginning band, we need flexibility. So we want to make sure that you guys do the best for that. Anybody who ends up playing a school-owned instruments, which are the really, really expensive instruments like the $6,000 tubas, we do instrument rental from the school for that. And you would simply pay $100 for the school year to rent that instrument. It includes their book and mouthpiece. So that's what happens if you end up with a school-owned instrument like tuba, French horn, baritone, oboe, bassoon. They're super expensive instruments. For those of you that are purchasing an instrument, renting to own it, you would purchase their book and mouthpiece. You would get it when you get their instrument from the music store. But all that will be described on that paper. Outside of beginning band, we've gotten started with advanced and intermediate band to get them started for the year. We are going to be sending out several emails with all of our activities for the year. So after tonight, you guys are going to get an email about the concession stand. It's going to have all the links in it that Ms. Smiley talked about, and it's going to have those links so that you can sign up to work the concession stand. We will have that volunteer opportunity throughout the year. We will also have the opportunity for you guys to work local field trips as chaperones. Board of Education requires when we go on a field trip that we have a certain number of parent chaperones. If we don't have that number of parent chaperones, if it comes the morning of the field trip and we're getting on the bus to go and we don't have the required number of parent chaperones, we legally cannot go. We have to send the students back to class and just stay at school. Now, if you want to see some long faces, them some long, miserable faces. We don't ever want that to happen. We've come close once or twice, but we're able to get it together and get some parents up there to go. If you sign up to go on a field trip as a chaperone, please make sure that you show up the morning of and go. We don't want to be counting on you for the kids to go, and then you not show up and we can't go. So that's a second way that you can volunteer. Third way, we have activities that go on throughout the year. We will be having the advanced and intermediate band perform at a couple of the football games as a pep band for the middle school games. We'll need parents to volunteer to help chaperone, pass out water, move equipment for those. We usually have some sort of tailgate before one of our games. We'll need parents to help with that. Is Miss Melissa Chambers here? I haven't seen Miss Chambers. Miss Chambers, will you stand up? This is Miss Chambers. She is our middle school representative for the Band Boosters. So Ms. Chambers is going to be contacting people saying, hey, can you help me with this event? Can you help me with this event? We'll be sending out sign-up genius forms for things like that. So please, when those come around, please sign up to do those. We'll have many different events during the year, and we're going to send out, so in addition to the email I'm going to send out about the concession stand stuff, I'm also going to send out an email with a calendar of events. I told the kids today, I said, we don't have a lot going on in September and August, but once October comes, it's on. We're going to take the beginning band students, all the 6th graders, and anybody starting beginning band, we're going to take them to Alabama Symphony Orchestra concert at UAB at the Alice Stevens Center downtown. So we'll go on that trip and take them out to lunch. That's something we do every year. On November the 30th, Mr. Binion may talk about this a little bit, UAB is actually bringing their concert winds to come perform a concert here at Clay-Chalkville Clay-Chalkville High School here in this auditorium for all of our students. So we're going to bring over all the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. We'll have all the high school band, and we may even have people from other schools coming over to attend that concert. So your students are going to have a chance in the first couple of months to hear professionals playing the instruments that they're learning to play, to hear college students play the instruments that they're learning to play, and get to hear from those college students. And some of our students, our Clay-Chalkville students, are in that group. We brought our students over last year. Alabama A&M came here and performed a concert for us last spring. We brought all of our students over for that as well, because that can be their future. Your students are starting in middle school right now, but Mr. Binion, right over here, Mr. Binion, will you stand up and let the middle school parents say hello? This is Mr. Binion. Mr. Wills, where are you, Mr. Wills? Mr. Wills over here, who was running the slideshow. Mr. Wills is one of the band directors here at the high school as well. Mrs. Wright could not be here tonight. She just had a baby last summer. So her daughter's a little over a year old. She's teething, so she's running a fever. Almost got kicked out of daycare today. So Miss Wright had to go take care of that tonight. But we are the 4 band directors that work with your students, and we have them from 6th grade all the way till they graduate high school. We will work with them on many different things, including auditions for honor bands and auditions eventually for college scholarships. Our seniors in high school every year get several $1 million worth of college scholarship offers. So when I talk about the A&M band, we have former students in that band that are going to school on scholarship. They're getting their school paid for because they're playing their band instrument. So we're going to work really hard with your students to teach them how to play their instrument the best that they can, and we have that future in mind for them as they go through. Beginning band parents, you guys will get to hear your students play a concert in December in this very room. So we're going to take them from where they are right now, not being able to play a single thing, to being able to perform a concert for you guys in December before we have our first break. So we will all look forward to that. Advanced and Intermediate Band, I mentioned, will be performing at 2 football games in October. We'll have those on the calendar. And then Advanced Band will go around to the elementary schools in December and perform Christmas concerts for each of the elementary schools in our feeder pattern. So we'll need parents to volunteer for that. So you're hearing that there are a lot of volunteer opportunities. Every time you volunteer, you earn volunteer hours as a middle school parent. And all the high school parents are nodding because they know about this. You earn volunteer hours. Every year, we go on an overnight out-of-state trip in the spring. Last year, we took our 7th and 8th graders to Walt Disney World in Orlando. This year, we are looking at going back to the Panama City Beach Music Festival. It's a very well-run music festival. I was talking to some of our seniors. That was their spring trip when they were in the 7th grade. We got back in the world before COVID. We went to that in 2019 when they were in the 7th grade, and they were like, oh yeah, that was an awesome trip. We had so much fun. And I was like, yeah, I think that's where we're going back to this year. So all of our 7th and 8th graders have the opportunity to participate in that trip. 6th graders are just learning to play. We're trying to get them through their first year, really teaching them how to play. So it's only 7th and 8th graders that do the overnight out-of-state thing. So we'll be sending out information about that pretty soon. Probably the first payment for that trip will be in October-ish. We have to get everything approved by the Board of Education, but 7th and 8th grade parents will be sending that out to you guys as soon as it is board approved. But people always want to know about chaperones for those trips. If we have 80 students to go, we're required to take one chaperone for every 8 students on out-of-state overnight trips. So that means we need 10 chaperones. When it comes time, because of buses and all of this, we really can only take official chaperones that we're required to have on those trips. So for 80 students, we need 10 chaperones. Who are we going to take? A lot of different people would like to go. We take the 10 parents who have the most volunteer hours. Those are the people who go on the out-of-state overnight trip at a significantly reduced cost. So if the trip costs $525 for your student to go, it is not going to cost that for you to go if you have worked those volunteer hours and you end up in that top tier of people. Last year when we went to Disney, I think we needed 8 chaperones based on the number of students that signed up to go. And so we took the top 8 that had the most volunteer hours. So people say, well, how many hours do I have to work to be able to go on the trip? I don't know. It's whatever gets you into the top 8, top 6, top 10. But you guys have earned an hour and 15 minutes already for being here at this Band Booster meeting tonight. If you're a 7th or 8th grade parent who have not been on our trip yet, your hours that you earned from going on that symphony trip in the 6th grade, roll over. Now, if you're a parent that went on the Disney trip with us last year, you have reset to 0. So you're starting over, earning your hours again to be able to go with us this year on the trip. So that's a great benefit to you guys, parents, to be able to earn those hours and possibly be able to go on that trip with us. So we wanted to give you, even 6th grade parents, you can start earning those hours now and build them up for when it comes your turn to go when your student's in 7th or 8th grade. All right, so be on the lookout for the email for our calendar. Be on the lookout for the email for the concession stand information. You guys should be probably getting emails from us. There'll be a lot here at the beginning of the year, and then after that, one every couple of weeks or so. All right, I am at this time about to turn it over to Mr. Binion, but before I do that, middle school parents, you are finished. So you guys are dismissed. I'm going to go out into the lobby, and if you have any questions for me, I'll be out there for you to ask me some questions. All right, here you go, Mr. Binion. And if you want to buy a Battle of the Bands ticket and come to support our high school band at the Battle of the Bands, Band Boosters will be out in the lobby to sell those tickets.
All right, as they leave out, good evening. Am I in the right place?
Yes.
Good evening. All right, okay. Now, I know I'm in the right place, but I'm gonna make sure they got my good side for the camera. So I know some of y'all have noticed and may know that after practice I went and put my shirt and tie back on. So that's because I wanted to make sure I was camera ready. All right, okay. I'm just making sure I can wake y'all up because to sit through some things that necessarily, but I'm gonna be brief. So I got 7:49. Give me 9 minutes to go through or less of what I have to say, and then we can close out. Correct? No, we got one more thing. All right, so I'll cut mine down to 6 minutes. How's that? 6 minutes. All right. Start the timer. Yes. If I could get some volunteers to come up and pass out the copy of the handbook and also the permission slips. Very important that you sign these tonight so we can get these collected. Both the handbook will need the student signature and the parent signature on the back. Make sure you read all of it because I want you to hold me to it. Yes. Right. Hold me to it, and then I'm going to hold you to it with the attendance policy, grading policy, and so forth. Okay. It also has a schedule of the football games in it. Also, there's a schedule of the performances for this semester. In the permission slip, sign the one on the front. Keep the back copy so you'll know what you're signing your child permission to attend. Starting with next Friday, the following Fridays, also the parades and future competitions. Mr. Carroll has already mentioned that we have UAB coming on November 30th. They're coming here. Tomorrow, a few of your students may have given you some permission slips for tomorrow. That is an isolated, not necessarily a band function, but it is a very good opportunity. What's up, Mr. Ward? How you doing? All right. So our students have been given an opportunity to go to a music industry workshop tomorrow at Audio State 55. They've recorded some really big records at that particular station. If you're familiar with Pastor Mike Jr., he recorded his project there where he just won 8 Stellar Awards. So we'll be going over there tomorrow. We'll leave here about 12:30. We'll come back about 4. So those seniors that are taking pictures, when you get back, you can take your pictures once you get back. All right, moving on for that. Some things that Mr. Campbell did leave out that we will also need some help on October the 17th, the Clay-Chalkville Middle School and High School will be hosting the all-county trials this year, but they're going to be held at the middle school. So we'll need some volunteers to help with getting kids registered for that particular event, and also we'll need some help, some hospitality people to help feed band directors. Okay, that's October the 17th. That's a Tuesday. Okay, for all county trials.
Handbook. We need a handbook. Can you get
All right.
handbook? Two. Several. Handbooks.
All right. So September's going to be kind of busy. Of course, we start our football season at the end of this month on not this Friday, but a week from this Friday, August 25th. We go to Briarwood, and we follow that up with a trip across county to Hueytown. And we follow that up with a trip out of the county over to St. Clair County to Pell City. Okay. Then we have a home game. Then we have some more away games. We have Centerpoint, then we have Thompson, then we get a bye week. Then we get some more teams. I don't know the rest of the schedule by heart, but okay. All right, you get the point. All right, so be sure all of that should be listed on the sheet that you keep. Once again, make sure you go through the attendance policy, that handbook, so that you can see what's going on. Sign it, give it back, we'll take them up, and then we'll collect and see who's missing some after the night. All right, so I got 3 minutes left? 2? All right, so some things, Mr. Campbell also mentioned that we have students at the A&M, and I just found this out yesterday. If you remember Corey Baskin is the trombone section leader. at Alabama A&M. Yeah, and he's just a sophomore. And Cameron Walker is co-section leader, clarinet section.
That's awesome.
How them two end up being section leaders is, Okay, now I'm gonna stop, right. For those of y'all that know those two are an idol. That yeah. Y'all know what they did, no telling. All right, okay. All right. What's that? Yeah, Maya Collins is also one of the section leaders in the blue section there. So our students have gone there and done very well. All right, any questions with me before I turn the mic over? Yeah, make sure you're at next band booster meeting because that's when I'm going to do the spring trip reveal. Yes, sir.
When you fill out your handbook and your permission to travel form, bring them up here. Okay, real quick, because we want to get you out here. We want to be good stewards of your time. Okay. Erica? Okay. Hey, Dana, will you send Erica back in here, please? Will you go around and collect them all, please? Thank you, ma'am. Get both. No, just keep it, just keep it, just keep it. And then you can sort and put it up in here. Yeah, help her out, man. Okay. Waiting for Erica. Guess I can do this on my own since she's trying to take up money. Okay, so y'all remember we just did a sponsorship fundraiser? Y'all remember? Okay. So, Miss Lucretia told you we had a goal of $20,000. That was to be able to feed everybody for the entire season. So for those of you who don't know, we have 3 things that we do, we as the band boosters, that we do every year for our students. Usually, we feed them for free before at least away games, depending on what the budget looks like. We dry clean your band students' clothes. And for those of you who've been in the band, you know in those warm months, dry cleaning is very necessary because it smells like a bag of onions in your child's band's bag. And the third thing we do is we provide transportation even for close games like Centerpoint and Huffman. That is the reason. So your band assessment takes care of your child, their clothing needs and their instrument repair needs, and it keeps the band going. As far as the program as a whole, what we fundraise for is typically for those extra things, cleaners, transportation, and, your assessment goes to transportation too, but cleaners, those close game transportation, and meals. If y'all remember, Ms. Burks told you we only raised about $6,700. So let me ask y'all something. If you're a shift worker or whatever happens at your house, if you lose money in your household, what do you have to do? Cut back. You got to cut back, right? Or you got to do what? Make up some money. You got to go get you another job. We can't go get another job. We're doing fundraising. So unfortunately, we're going to have to cut. And unfortunately, we're going to have to cut pregame meals, at least the first 3. Now, we're not going to leave you hanging because I think the first game, the call time is going to be 4:30-ish or something like that. Or earlier, so that's even worse. So, what we're going Okay. So, what that means is we're not going to leave you hanging. We're going to feed, we're going to offer food, but you're going to have to pay. We tried to figure out how we could be stingy. There's some over there, ladies. Some over there to pick up. We tried to figure out how we could do this. We can't come up with any other option. We only had 23. We have 110 students in the band. 120 students in the band. 23 students raised funds for the sponsorship. Only 23. So we have to cut something. So food is gonna be the first thing to go, at least for the first 3 games. Now, if everybody gets in there and sells band, Battle of the Band, tickets, then guess what? And Double Good, and everybody sells their 20 bags or 100 bags of Double Good, then, you know, we can reconsider this after the third game, But for now, we're gonna have to charge. So, those of you who raised your $50 or more, which was the minimum sponsorship, your child will not have to pay. Okay? And that's gonna be good all season. We appreciate your trying. We appreciate you going out and doing that, but they won't have to pay, okay? Everyone else, what we are going to do is every week or the week before, we will have the menu out and let you know what it is, what the food is that we're gonna serve, and the link to go ahead and sign up to pay. We are only taking orders, okay? It's only gonna be one thing. It's not like, oh, you can choose between a hamburger, hot dog, and chicken nuggets. It's gonna be one thing. So this first game, it's Costa's. It's gonna be spaghetti, bread, salad, drink, dessert. It'll be $10. Here's the QR code to sign up for the meal. You'll pay online. You can pay tonight if you want to. You can send the money with your child. Just make sure you put the child's name and what it's for. So put Susan Smith, pregame meal. Okay. And if you pay online, there's a tab for it. On Converge, it'll say pregame meal. Okay. Okay, and we will probably feed the kids during 5th block. So there will be no, oh, well, I'll send mine and let them go walk over to Dairy Queen after class. It sounds like that might not be an option. I'll let Mr. Binion talk about that.
Some of you don't know, last year, we got some late bills from the school that we paid for escort services that we did not receive. Okay, so when I question about, since we're paying for escort services, what's the process for actually getting escorted to the away games this year? I was told that because they were not aware that we were to be escorted, I said, well, we were charged for it, we didn't receive it. And so there's got to be another conversation had, but the options I was given today were that A, leave when the football team leaves, or be prepared to spend more money because they got to have more people on staff to escort us to the football games. So, another conversation will be had. I'll let you know how that turns out.
Thank you, Mr. Binion. So with that being said, I don't think you're going to have time to go over to DQ. So the children will eat during 5th block. We will provide snacks because, you know, they'll eat at, 2 or 3 or something like that, and they won't eat again until after the game. So we will provide a snack. But when I say a snack, it's going to be like Cheez-Its and a drink. Okay. So, sign up. Even if your child raised funds, you still need to sign up. Okay? You still need to sign up. We have a list who's paid, so don't try to sneak in. Sign up. If you're going to pay, sign up to pay. Sign up for your meal, and then if you need to pay, make sure you pay. If you're going to send the money with your child, with cash or check, do that. Make sure you put it on there. Pre-game meal for Sammy Sosa. Whatever. Sammy Sosa.
Okay, so for clarification, you're signing up.
For clarification, you're signing up.
You're signing up to pay, or you're signing up to pay in advance online, or you're signing up so they will be in the count of meals.
So for clarification, when you scan this, you're ordering a meal. If you did not raise a minimum of $50 for the sponsorship, you're paying. If you did, and you know who you are, you know if you did or didn't, and if you don't know, you can speak to Miss Booker or Miss Smith, who are out there, and they have the list.
So which option should we choose if we do this sponsorship? I mean, in person.
Just put in person. Yeah, if your child participated, and I'll go in tonight and add that as I didn't even think about adding that as an option. If your child already, if your child raised the money, just put in person because that option's not there. Put in person. Like if your child raised $150, in the payment method, just put in person. Any questions? Any more questions about that? We're going to leave this up here. Yes, Ms. Dodd? Every game, yes, because it will be different food every game. So that's a very good question. Every week, we will put, well, the week before, we will put, okay, let me back up. You need to order and pay for your food by Tuesday the 22nd. A remind with the QR code and the link will go out on, it will go out on Remind tomorrow. The QR code and the link, all right, I'll just do the link. The link will go out tomorrow. It needs to be paid by Tuesday, next Tuesday, 22nd, okay? Then for the next week, we will put out the next menu. What we've been doing is asking the seniors, we give them a choice. So this week it was between A and B and they chose Costas. We also try to strategically do this, like next week we have to go a little further, so we may have to leave a little earlier because we go to Hueytown and it's a little further. So it may not be a choice. It may be all we have time to do is Chick-fil-A. Something we can hand them the box and they can eat on the bus or something like that.
Come here. Come around.
Yes, we can. Let me tell you. I'll tell you.
Okay.
I cleared it. Okay, any other questions? Yes, ma'am. No questions too dumb because I need everybody's child to eat.
For real.
Oh, well, I got that, but this is my first time volunteering for the concession stand. But what time do I get there?
Okay, so this is an away game.
Okay.
So
I think I'll do the first two.
first two games? Okay. Chaperone or concession stand? Okay. We don't have, so you will get instructions via email for the concession stand. Okay?
We got your email address?
Yeah, it's Sign Up Genius. It's in Sign Up Genius.
I'm excited.
She is ready. She said, I'm excited. That's why I love parents who are excited. Any other questions about anything? Okay. Make sure you have 2 forms. Student permission to travel. They can't go next Friday if they don't have a permission form. Mr. Binion has to, by law, turn your child away at the door. And the parent agreement form, he'll just make them run extra laps if they don't bring that in. And the student agreement form. And they will do stadiums if they don't turn this in. Ooh, somebody said, ooh, they remember. Somebody had PTSD flashback. Oh, he said, okay, anything else? Where did my child go?
Okay, we do thank you all for coming out. We will continue to accept these documents we do need so that we can get them turned in. Right. Any questions? Yes. Oh, no, if they wanted to go, they just needed to sign up and let me know and turn in a permission slip. Okay, that probably means that Mr., I won't call his name out, but he was probably being, not quite paying attention. Yes, sir. Yeah, the shirts and shorts, they should be back probably the end of this week. If I know Mr. Jeff Patrick, he'll have that stuff into us before the weekend. They've been ordered. And so they'll get a visor, they'll get a dry fit shirt, and they'll get a dry fit shorts with pockets. And they'll need black socks, calf length, solid black socks, band shoes, and we'll give them the spats. Spats have been ordered too. Yes, ma'am. we do make some, order some extras, we should be covered on that end. You're welcome. Yes. Okay. No, we just have to, you can send it whatever you do. See what's the wisdom about shoes. Yeah. Right. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll order them, but we'll hold them until, just see Mr. Wills, make sure we got the sizes and stuff. Okay. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. No, there's a separate commission slip for tomorrow. It has Audio State 55 on it. That is not on that list. Okay. We got any more of those commission slips left? Yeah. So see Mr. Wilson, as soon as we adjourn, he has those permission slips in his office. Yes. Right, that's, okay, seniors, juniors and seniors, I gave you the option to purchase, be able to purchase, voluntarily purchase Letterman jackets. That's not mandatory. So, you need to turn it, it's $100 deposit, and I think it was, $95 was the balance or something like that. Yeah, he went down because I think those jackets lasted with $225. So y'all getting a deal from Mr. Larry Ball. Actually, Mr. Larry Ball, he's think he's slick. He's trying to get me to leave Mr. Jeff Patrick. But Jeff, this is how I do business. As long as you're doing good with me with your business, I don't have a reason to leave. So, but now he's trying to play hardball with the money. So I might have to flap an eyelash. All right, here we go. Yeah, but just bring that in along with the order form. And we'll hold those until he comes and pick them up, because he had those kids. He'll come in here with about 3 large duffel bags full of jackets, and they have to try the jackets on, so he makes sure he gets the right size, make sure they got the spelling of the name correct, so because those jackets are made to order. Right.
Mr. Binion, do they pay the band boosters, or do they pay the front office for that?
No, they pay Mr. Larry Ball. So they bring the check for this what's it, Southern Sportswear. They check out the Southern Sportswear, or if it's a check or money order. Make it out the Southern Sportswear, and he'll come by himself and pick that up.
So bring it to Mr. Will safe?
Yes, correct.
Safe.
Can you say that? Can you repeat that?
Okay, yeah, if you're ordering a Letterman's jacket, juniors and seniors, bring the order form that I sent out today on the remind, fill it out, and bring the $100 deposit, make the checks or money orders payable to Southern Sportswear. Yeah, after you pay your man fees, yeah, we do. Walk around with a Letterman jacket, you ain't got a dry fit, that's a problem.
Exactly.
Right? You got a Letterman jacket, but you ain't got a dry fit, something wrong. Yeah. Okay? We good? That's it?
That's all.
Good call. All right, so if you stand, we'll be closed out in prayer by Dr. Burks.
Dr. Burks.
It's real easy to get a PhD from down the state.
Whoa! Shots fired.
All hearts and minds composed. Will you stand so that we may adjourn and pray for Ms. Higgins? John chapter 5, verse 17b says, "My Father is always at work, even unto this very day, and I too am working." Lord God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the productivity of those who have assembled here today. We thank you for willing hearts and minds. We thank you for hands that are ready to work. We thank you, Lord God, that our children are being set up for success in their future. We thank you, Lord God, for this great institution and for all of those who lead. God, we are careful to ask you for forgiveness of our sins, and that as we go in your grace, we also go in your peace, ready to return with a heart that's ready to work. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
8:14.